In this part of the demonstration, we'll discuss agentic AI workflows and how they work in concert with the mobile app. So as you know, the thesis behind HeyMedicaid is that we have a mobile app that is available in many languages. It's available in both voice and standard modes, as well as the ability to take photos of documents to make everything really easy to do. However, as you could imagine, it's critical to get people to be using this app and also to be reminding them of the work certification requirements and all of the renewal requirements as the laws have changed. And so in the workflows area of the system, we've designed a system that consists of 5 different artificially intelligent agents that manage different parts of a overall workflow that is designed to get people through the Medicaid enrollment process successfully. So what you'll see here is that there are 5 agents, and you'll see them here as well as in the center area. There's a download agent, which is responsible for getting patients or citizens to download the mobile app. So this will send them a message or an email and essentially encourage them to go to the App Store to download this free mobile app. Now, the next agent is the complete agent. So after the person has downloaded the mobile app, that's when that agent that's its goal. And this agent's goal is when the patient completes their Medicaid application, in this case for the state of Nebraska. And once we've completed the application via the mobile app, we would actually submit it to the state. And so this would be the process of either automating the website for the application or using the state's API to submit it directly. The other 2 agents are a little bit unique. We have a renewal agent, which will remind a person every 6 months to make sure that all their paperwork is up to date with respect to renewing their Medicaid application. But there's also a work agent. And so what we want with the new work requirements is to ensure that people are aware of the 80-hour work requirement and to provide an agent that will prompt them to keep their information up to date so that they don't miss Medicaid based on a simple paperwork issue. And so let's talk a little bit about how agents are set up, and we'll actually work through this process for the download agent. But the process is essentially the same for each agent. Now you'll notice here there are 5 tabs at the top. There's a work queue, which is like the future work that the agent will do. There's the history tab, which is all of the historical things that the agent has done. There's an analytics tab for viewing stats. There's a logs tab, which will keep very low-level track of every action on the system for HIPAA compliance. And then there's a configure tab, which is for setting up the agent. And so when I click this configure option, it basically takes me to the configure tab here. And what you'll notice is with an AI agent, you essentially have a prompt, but this prompt is more advanced than a normal LLM prompt because it can do things beyond just respond to a text message. So you'll notice here on the right, so here's the prompt, and you can see this prompt editor has got some different rules, but it's just a normal editor where I can, define parameters and make it exactly how I want the agent to behave. And so you'll see this agent has 4 commands. It can send messages, it can wait, it can escalate, or it can mark someone as complete when something is done. And then it can use these commands, but it can also use these variables for the patient as well as the organization's data here as well. So after you customize this prompt, and this is a one-time activity, but it can be tuned over time as you want to change the workflow. But this will generate, when I click that generate workflow button, a visual representation of what this agent will do for every person. So the first thing is it's going to identify high-risk patients who need the app. This notion of risk is a custom metric, which could be things like, could be based on their age, it could be based on whatever demographic information we would want, as well as things like do they have an upcoming appointment? Do they not have Medicaid, to create an interesting risk profile? But what you'll see here is it will generate this list, or this queue of things that it will do. For example, it'll send the SMS message with the download link, and then it's going to wait 24 hours. If someone doesn't do something, if they don't click the link, it's going to send the reminder, etc., until this meets the completion standard at the very end, where the person has authenticated. Now, if I build this work queue here, you're going to see it found 3 patients who met those criteria. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit activate this workflow here. And you'll see here it says we're confirming that this is going to be an autonomous workflow and it's going to run 24/7. And so as new patients meet this risk profile, they will enter this workflow for the download agent to send out the outbound message. So if I hit activate workflow here, you'll see the agent's activity stream start to populate here. And you'll see that it sent out 3 messages. And at the end, once it's done processing, you can jump over to the work queue. You'll get the success message, and then I can hit the work queue button, and we will see what's next for the agent, right? So we just sent an SMS, and now we're waiting for the person to click the link, and we have our next action planned 24 hours in the future if the person doesn't click the link between now and then. And all of this is click-through auditable from a couple of different areas. So the first is I can go to the Analytics tab here, and I can actually see the individual workflow of each user. So I can see that the SMS was sent, and we're waiting, and this is how long we've been waiting, which is almost nothing right now. But the other thing is I could click on the person's name, and it will take me to the workflow and will show me exactly where we are. And if we need to advance the workflow manually, we can. But you can see here that the agent will manage the workflow for each patient until it's done with this process. And then it will jump to the next workflow, which is completing the Medicaid application for the state of Nebraska. So essentially, this whole agentic system is a companion logic layer to the mobile app that gets people to do the things that we need them to do. In the case of completing the app, it's nudging them from time to time. It's maybe encouraging them to send a certain document that may be missing, needed to comply. And then submitting it is a different agent that would just submit the application at the end of the day. The point is, all of these things work in concert for the person's enrollment. And once they are enrolled and successfully enrolled with Medicaid, to ensure they stay enrolled by making sure that we're renewing successfully every 6 months and making sure that all of their work compliance requirements are in order. So I hope you enjoyed the Agentic AI section, and look forward to the next section with you.